Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty. It's another awesome, I wouldn't say awesome week, but it's starting to get better. And with that, I want to say, when we're becoming off the 21 cliff, and I know some autistics, depending on your skills, you may want to move out on your own someday, like me. Unfortunately, I suppressed the feeling for a long time. Um, I just had this conversation in therapy actually this week, and I didn't realize we started having the conversation about moving out on my own and being independent like I am now for several years before I actually did it. Um, Moving out is a big thing. I have to admit it does take a big step. I'm in my second house now, and I do like it, but it does come with responsibility. And also, if you have the skills, which many can, you don't, you can, your dreams are there. And I just shared a TikToker, William Worley, and I encourage anybody to look him up. He's a great autism vlogger. He also has I think he has a YouTube channel as well. I'll share the stuff in the description. But also, he has a house and a car, and he does all these side jobs. And I get that not everybody's on the same scope of things. But here's my thought about it, and it still is my thought today, even though I've been independent for a while. So, many of us on the autism spectrum live with our parents. Parents, give or take, 20, 30 years older than us. Sometimes 40, 50, give or take. My parents are 29 and 38 years older than I am. So, there's a big age difference there. Not that that's bad. I was the youngest of the children. Um, and I talked about housing, getting on my own in therapy. I just suppressed it for so long that I just didn't want to hear it, and I didn't want to hear, and then one day, it just sunk to me. I don't know if it was just casual conversation, or it just sunk in that, mom and dad aren't going to be around forever, and that's a reality that us as autistic adults don't want to face. We suppress our emotions. We suppress our empathy sometimes. We have empathy, but we suppress it. So, it's a struggle. And, that reality sometimes needs to sink in that, some parents are great, some are not so great. But the ones, that really make an impact on you, my parents included, who would bend over backwards, who will do anything. Sometimes it's a drop of a hat or at a phone call, who are ready to answer the phone at every opportunity that you may have. They have. You are their number one priority sometimes because you have possibly needed so much care or growing up from, when you've grown up and you've become out of the school system, and then, you hit the cliff, as they say. And that cliff can be a very, as a noteworthy thing, because when you age out or you graduate from the system, such as I did, you become to a point where you just, in many states, now granted, Pennsylvania, where I live, is a great state. They have many things. They have many services. Yes, there are waiting lists. So sometimes you can wait till somebody passes away. Sometimes there's other services you're put on waiting lists. But so the cliff is there, I want to say, and you need to plan early. I talked about this with my parents earlier this week. If it wasn't for my parents not having a destiny for my life, or not aiding in me in a destiny for my life, I remember being a sophomore in high school, and my parents looked at vocational training through the state vocational rehab facility in our town, not far from my house, because they knew I needed to learn a skill or a trade. And some people didn't think that was a good thing for me, that I would graduate high school and live with my parents the rest of my life. Proved them wrong. Next year, I got out. Shit, my mom fought tooth and nail. We had teachers write letters. I got in. They didn't think I'd make the evaluation period, which was 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I stayed an additional week, learned some shops, and picked a shop. The next spring, I got admitted. Never had a problem in the school, had honors. But that's about school, so, I learned a little bit about being independent there. And then, as things went on, I did some things in my life, lived with my parents for many years. I worked, got a job, I still have that job. But in reality, my therapist would always bring up, well, your parents aren't going to, I hate to say it, your parents aren't going to be around forever. And that's the sad truth. It is. My parents have health issues. It's not a lie, COVID has taught us many things about that. But, so, as time went on, it kind of sunk in my head that, I need to face reality. That if something would happen to my parents, that I wouldn't have a place to stay. So, I did my work and I got my first place, and yeah, it was great. And yeah, it was great. And I learned a lot of things, and it was, not so great, and things happened, and I moved back with my parents a bit. But even more, I realized, I need to get back out again. I can't be suppressing myself back in with my family. And I did, and, by the grace of God, I got this home, and, I'm back into living again. But it's, even at it, it's skill. And I'm doing better here at this facility, at this place, than what I was doing at the other. I'm actually cooking food, I can clean, do laundry, all that. Um, Sometimes, the thing that I want to hit home on is the loneliness and the isolation. And, the freedom. I hate to use the word freedom because it's a lot of freedom. And sometimes, it's hard for me to realize that I have freedom. And I did experiment with freedom for the last couple years. Didn't go so well sometimes. I didn't mean I didn't get in legal trouble. But, I got mentally sick. And it wasn't something I was proud of. So I know that I can't play around with being mentally sick. I know I have to follow all the recovery principles, take my medications, so on and so forth. Basic, right? So, now that I take my medications on a I follow my regimen, I do what I have to do to take care of the house. So now we're in a point where there's loneliness and sadness. I have to give my mom a kudos, and I know many of you have read my Wellness Wednesday blog, but I do walk with her almost every day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6, and that's nice. And nice, we get to connect and share things. It's just nice. It's really nice. It makes me think about things. But sometimes it's just hard to find attention, and sometimes we want attention of others. Sometimes we want people to feel bad for us, although we really shouldn't, because a person like me has everything, has the world by the ass, so to say, and can have whatever they want. I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to have the things I have and do the things I do. So, I kind of bellyache when I have a downtime, and this kind of relates to my last video, where I was talking about, in the funk, and I get in this funk, and I'm like depressive, and blah blah blah. But I'm realizing now that you need to connect to people in the world. You need to find the people skills, and I know COVID has put a hampering on that. A lot of the social skills groups, so on and so forth, have been cut back. Meetings where we would once connect with other people has been cut back. But they're hopefully going to emerge here soon, and we're hoping. But, you need to connect with people outside of the world because, in a safe, decent manner. I have to admit, coming up on your internet safety skills, know code words, know what things are, how to do things. Very important. But reality is, have a plan. Have a plan of things that you want to do or things that you can do to entertain yourself or make yourself happy or just sit back and relax because, we all need a little bit of me time. Yes, things need taken care of, like cleaning, the dishes, things that are not so pleasant, making the bed, doing laundry, and so on. You know, things need done. I get it. And they do get done. So now you sit and you mope around and you scroll on your phone. You get depressive. So, you know, just try to find something, a hobby, something you enjoy doing. Um, all, watch a movie or watch some videos. Try to immerse yourself in knowledge too, because that's another great tool. You know, trying to at least keep yourself busy so that you're not irritated or bored, and then you get into trouble. Because boredom leads into trouble. As I always say, an idle mind makes the devil's workshop, and it does because I can tell you on my day off when I'm here, it's a struggle sometimes to get between appointments. It can be a struggle, and getting started in the morning it can be a struggle. So it's just all in your delicate balance of how you do things. So I encourage day programs, supported employment, anything that makes life worthwhile. You don't want to sit around all day and be a vegetable. Yes, I get it. People can't totally work, but you can manage how you work and manage it well. And luckily I've had that balance where it can be manageable. One of those things is taking care of yourself. And when you recognize signs that you're not taking care of yourself, such as like I said in the other video, in the last video about in the funk. Well, I was in a funk because I didn't shower in 2 days. So I realized I needed to take a shower. And it's pretty bad when I realize it because, and I hate to say it, it's embarrassing, but we as autistics sometimes struggle with the shower thing being in there. And it was a struggle for me to get there, but I got there, and once got there, it was the most amazing time I had. And it's not much, and I don't even have to pay for the water or the waste. So it's something that's free. It doesn't cost any money other than what I used to buy at the store to clean myself with. But and the clothes, find clean clothes, and just try to get something to eat and be nourished. All these things are life care hacks that you can do to make life worthwhile. Life could be so bad. I watch TikTok a lot, and there's a lot of people in a lot of desperate situations, and a lot of marginalized communities that are less fortunate, and their parents don't love them, or because of their choices or because of what they want to do, and that's wrong. But you hope that people find places to go. There's so many people that's homeless. You probably can hear the air conditioner behind me, and it's the greatest gift ever. I mean, I bought it; it's mine. I got a fan running in the back room, in the bedroom. Sometimes you just got to be thankful for the things. As you know, I have Pinterest up now, so I always try to put a quote on there if I think I need that's what I do when I need inspiration. So I go on to my Pinterest, and it's Pinterest. I think Dustin's Dynasty is my username, and I try to find a happy Pinterest so that people can find what's bothering me, and likewise, I'm going to help you. So with that, folks, I think that's good enough to put it to a close. Thank you for listening tonight. I really wanted to get this off my chest, so I'm glad I did. As always, thank you for listening. As always, like, follow, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and now Pinterest, and on the web at DustinsDynastyUSA.com. Thank you, and good night.